The given image depicts the information about two bird feeders, which are made by plastic bottles, wooden sticks, and spoons. Both the plastic bottles contain bird seeds, and it can be clearly seen that one bottle is pierced with wooden sticks, and another with spoons. Bird is preferring the bottle pierced with spoons, while another bottle is still full. After analyzing the key aspects, it can be concluded that bird feeder with spoons can be more convenient for birds.
The image illustrates different parts of a tree including roots, trunk, branch, twig, leaves as well as crown. Roots are the part of tree which grows underground. Trunk is the main skeleton of tree, which supports and hold up the crown. Furthermore, the crown is made up of leaves and branches, including small twigs. In conclusion, image shows the crucial information about the different parts of a tree.
The given diagram shows the information about solar eclipse. There are two types of solar eclipse, including total eclipse and partial eclipse. For a total eclipse to take place, the Sun, Moon and Earth must be in straight line. Second is a partial solar eclipse. This happens when the Sun, Moon and Earth are not exactly lined up. The Sun appears to have a light shadow on large part of Earth. It can be concluded that diagram shows the date to about solar eclipse, which is strongly supported by the data and facts.
The given pie chart shows the information about different kind of wheat exported from Australia. It can be clearly seen that general purpose wheat export contributes the most, which is 25,109 tonnes, followed by Australian hard wheat with 15,176, and durum wheat, which is 9,500 tonnes. Lastly, organic wheat accounts for only 6,300 tonnes.
Given chart depicts the information about the monthly rainfall and temperature in Cape Town and Hong Kong. In July, where Hong Kong's temperature reaches its highest, and accounts for 30 degrees, Cape Town reaches its lowest temperature, which was 13 degrees. On the other hand, the rainfall volume in the months of June to August was highest, whereas in December and January it was recorded at lowest point. To conclude, it can be clearly seen that both the temperature and rainfall for Cape Town and Hong Kong follow an opposing trend.
The line chart shows information about changing temperature in Beijing over the period from January to December. It can be seen that the temperature of July was the highest, which is between 20 to 30 degrees. On the other hand, the temperature for December and January was lowest, which accounts between -10 to 0 degree. It can be concluded that this line chart shows the crucial data about temperature in Beijing throughout the year. The pie chart shows the information about cattle ranching and deforestation. The factors are classified into 4 categories, including cattle ranching, small-scale agriculture, large-scale agriculture, and logging. Livestock ranching contributes the most, which accounts for 70% of conversion. This is followed by large-scale agriculture, which is 5% to 10%. Followed by that, logging only takes up to 2% to 3% of conversion, whereas other factors contribute the least, which is 1% to 2%.
The pie chart shows the information about total MSW generation in 2009. It can be clearly seen that paper and paperboard contributes the most, which is 28.2%. This is followed by food scraps with 14.1% and then yard trimmings with 13.7%. Whereas, other types of material account for only 3.5%.
The pie chart shows the factors that determines happiness. They are classified into 3 categories, including intentional activities, genetic set point, and life circumstances. It can be clearly seen that genetic set point contributes the most, which is 50%. This is followed by intentional activities, which accounts for 40%. Whereas, other life circumstances contribute the least, which is 10%.
The image provides information about changing food and oil price from year 2000 to year 2009. It can be clearly seen that oil price and food price index follow a similar pattern. For oil price, figures increased from $20 to $80 from year 2000 to 2009, while food price index increased from $110 to $200 during the same period. It can be concluded that the image shows crucial data about fluctuations of food and oil price.
The image shows information about food guide pyramid for older adults. It can be clearly seen that water and liquid should contribute the most in their diet. This is followed by whole grains and fortified food such as brown rice and whole wheat bread. Then it is followed by vegetables and fruits. On the other hand, the least adults are expected to consume are trans fats, salt, sugar, and calcium.
The image shows information about growing life cycle of plant. The process begins with a seed or a spore. That seed or spore will then grow into a seedling or an immature plant. Followed by, the seedling will then grow into adulthood, which is a mature plant. That plant will then reproduce seeds or spores that might eventually grow into a new plant again. In conclusion, the image shows data about plant life cycle.
The image illustrates information about the working of solar yard lights, which consists of solar cells, glass cover, photoresistor, battery, controller board, LED, as well as lamp cover. It can be seen clearly that during daytime, the solar cells convert the sunlight into electrical energy, and temporarily store it in the battery. Moreover, the controller will switch on the LED when photoresistor detects darkness.
The picture gives information about the 9 planets in our solar system, and Pluto, in order of size. According to the picture, it is obvious that Jupiter is the largest, and followed by Saturn. We can also see that the third largest planet is Uranus, and in the solar system, followed by Venus, Mars, and Mercury. In conclusion, we can say that the solar system includes the Sun, planets, and other objects.
The graph gives information about BMI, which stands for Body Mass Index. According to the graph, BMI is a value derived from the weight and height of a person. Weight is in kilograms and height is in centimeters. As we can see from the chart, the healthy weight range is from 18.5 to 25. If the BMI is higher than 25, the person will be considered as overweight and obese when the figure goes above 30. However, if the BMI is below 18.5, then it is underweight. In conclusion, it is better for people to keep their BMI between 18.5 and 25 to stay healthy.
The picture gives information about the right typing position. For the first half of the picture, it is clear that the wrist and the palm should be straight and horizontal. Excessive motion of the wrist should be avoided. For the second half of the picture, we need to make sure that the wrist and the lower arm are straight as well, and the fingers need to be slightly curved. Apart from that, the keyboard needs to be flat. Do not prop up the back of the keyboard. In conclusion, if we follow the instructions provided, we can type faster without causing pain in the wrist or hand.
The two pictures compare city in two different time. The city on the left picture was probably taken about more than 100 years ago, when the carriage and horse were still popular. However, the right picture was probably taken in recent decades because we can find a double-decker bus and motorcycles in it. The left picture is black and white while the right picture is color one. Of course, the two pictures share some similarities. For example, there are tall buildings in both of them.
The picture gives information about the visibility and predation of fish during the daytime, nighttime and nighttime with artificial light. During the daytime, fish is less abundant, but more predation can be seen. However, during the nighttime, fish is more abundant but less predation can be found. It is also worth noticing that at night with artificial light, fish abundance and predation are similar to the day. Overall, we can draw a conclusion that as long as there is light, be it natural or artificial, more predation and less abundance can be found in fish.
The picture gives information about how warm and cold currents move in the oceans all over the world. From the graph, we can find that there are two currents, the warm shallow current, and cold and salty deep current. Because of the solar warming of ocean waters, the warm shallow current moves to the west while the cold and salty deep current moves to the east. It is also worth noticing that sea-to-air heat transfer can be found in the northern part of the Atlantic Ocean. Overall, we can draw a conclusion that both warm and cold currents move constantly around the world.
The picture gives information about how human beings get energy from food. We take carbohydrates, fats and others from the food we eat and discharge chemical waste like carbon dioxide and water. During the process of ATP, body's energy currency, heat is produced. After that is what we call metabolism, and heat is also produced in this process. Overall, we can draw a conclusion that human life is sustained by the energy we take from the food we eat.
The picture gives information about how bomb calorimeter works. From the picture, we can find several components: the inner vessel, the outer vessel, the ignition wire, thermometer, water and chamber for food. There are two holes on the cover through which the ignition wire is connected to the water and the inner vessel. When the wire is ignited, the food in the chamber is burned and the heat produced will warm up the water in the outer vessel. From the temperature change measured by the thermometer, we can tell how much heat the food can produce.
The picture gives information about the height of 3 of the tallest buildings anywhere in the world. The highest building among the 3 is Taipei 101, located in Taipei, which is 1670 feet high. The second tallest building is Petronas Towers 1 and 2, situated in Kuala Lumpur, which is 1484 feet high. The third goes to Sears Tower based in Chicago, which is 1450 feet tall. Overall, we can draw a conclusion that all the 3 buildings are over 1450 feet high.
This picture gives information about simple circuit with light. At the beginning of this process, the electric current is starting from the negative pole of the battery. And after that, it moves through the wire and reaches the light bulb, but the light bulb cannot be lighted up at this stage. Following that, the electric current continues to move through the wire, and then reaches the positive pole of the battery. When the whole process is completed, the light bulb can be finally lighted up. In conclusion, it is pretty simple to understand the process of simple circuit with light.
This picture shows how viruses damage cells. The first step is adsorption, during which the virus adsorbs the cell. The next step is entry, during which the virus enters the cell. After that, viruses replicate themselves in the cell. Then, new viruses are assembled and released from the cell. In conclusion, viruses are harmful to cells.